All right, so I got a Reddit question tonight, which was, what's the shadiest thing you've done flipping, or in flipping? Um, on the sell side, I'm by the book. So if I'm going to offer an item to a buyer, I'm not going to say it's new if it's in fact used. I'm actually going to talk about condition and all that stuff. I think it's a really, really bad precedent to set if you're doing bad business with buyers. And the thing is my entire flipping career has been based on the principle that you make the money in the purchasing and not in the selling. So if I'm not able to make a profit when I sell an item, that's my fault. That's not the buyer's fault for not wanting to pay my price. That's my fault for not understanding what the buyer's price was. And that just takes a ton of research. So I'm not willing to buy an item unless I know exactly what I'm going to be able to sell it for, at least within, let's say it's a bigger item, within a couple $100. If it's a smaller item, let's say within even $10. So I think on the buying side, I'm willing to get a little more competitive, and I think that's where the shadiness comes out. So for example, when I used to sell a lot of medical equipment, I realized pretty quickly into selling and flipping that stuff that the vast majority of the area where buyers would get overexcited or they'd pay too much was in sort of dealing with the buyers that really weren't experienced in selling medical equipment. And the reason why I say that is it's a pain in the ass going down to the lab, pulling it out, unplugging it, getting into a truck, getting into a warehouse, cleaning it, checking the condition, listing it, learning about the thing. It's a ton of work. So if you're buying an item for $5,000 that is going to sell for $8,500, it's not that much margin. When you figure buyer's premium and the sales and also then the eBay premiums and the PayPal premiums, it's really not that much money you're going to make on that thing. So you want to be able to not have to have any wiggle room with your max price. Let's say if someone's going to sell for $8,500, I'm willing to spend $5,000 on it. And if it goes to $5,100, I'm out. I'm not going to mess in nickel and dime with that kind of thing. So what ended up happening was that these buyers would show up. Maybe they did the research on eBay sold listings a day or two ago. I'd done the research 3-4 weeks ago, so I have my set prices. They'd look at something and go, well, I saw it sell on eBay for $8,500, so let me put in an order up to $6,500 or $7,000. And the thing is that they're netting zero if they win that item if they're lucky. But I would end up losing the item, which just would piss me off to no end. So what I started doing with the items that were pretty rare or that I knew had big money potential to them is that usually those medical equipment items wouldn't have a ton of completed listings and sales listings research and stuff. So I would actually list the item up on eBay. I'd have a quantity of 6, so you could buy one of 6. And then I'd list it for my top price. So if I was willing to spend $5,000, I would list that item for $5,000. And then sometimes I'd even make the listing, end the listing, and then make a new listing, end that listing, and then make a new listing. And just sort of show, the attrition of sales through the eBay platform. And I knew that those newer buyers were just going to jump onto eBay, check completed listings, check existing listings, and go, yeah, it's only worth it if I can get it for less than $3,500, right? So they'd be tapped out. I'd still be in. In their mind, they're probably thinking, well, that guy's an idiot for spending, $4,500 or $5,000 on that item. But in the reality is I would know, actually, I'm going to be able to sell that for $8,500. So I think that's probably the shadiest thing that I did. I used to regularly do with medical equipment. That's just a weird niche where that actually works. In other niches, I would not suggest doing that with, Nike shoes, because you're going to end up, giving that buyer, whoever on eBay, that pair of Nikes for no money. So, it just really depends on the category, but that's the thing that I would say is shady. But again, it's only on the buy side. I get really competitive when I'm buying, and on the sell side, look, if I can make money, that's because I did my research. If I don't make money, I screwed up. So, all right. Thanks for the question.